FM. My name is Bolabad and you are live on Melody Sunrise and the time is 8:04 from the studios. I'm going to be here from now to 9:55. We're going to be doing quite a lot together on the show this morning as between now and 8:10 we'll be checking out the weather forecast and also the motivation quote for today. And by 8:10 we'll go through the front pages of various Nigerian dailies this morning, and by 8:30 the sports crew will be in the studios to take us through the exciting world of sports. And also, once it is 9 a.m., we'll be going straight into the People's Assembly. We'll be having a serious conversation this morning. Yeah, a very serious one, as a matter of fact. And I'll be having an expert in the studios to actually help us dissect and understand, things that we need to know about the tax law much later on the show. We'll do that for 30 minutes. And by 9:30, we'll wrap up the conversation. At 9:45, Melody Surprise will be eating the airwaves, and we'll do that for 10 minutes and then wrap up the show in its entirety for the week by 9:55. So it's absolute good time that we'll be having together on the show today. And hopefully you get to contribute also and ask questions that you do not know or understand about the tax law when we get to that segment. Okay, so right now it's about 25 degrees Celsius outside, checking out the weather forecast that is, and the temperature will keep rising. Okay, to peak at 35 degrees Celsius later this afternoon around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. That is when the temperature would actually peak. And before it starts dropping, sunset is set at 6:46 p.m. And the temperature lowest, all-time lowest, latest tonight will be 25 degrees Celsius. So it's safe to say that it's going to be a really hot day. It is going to be no partly cloudy, no fully cloudy conditions happening today. Sunny conditions are expected to start as early as 10 a.m. Today. Okay, so stay safe. If you've not stepped out, wear something light. Okay, do not overdo, do not do too much. Just be safe and please do stay hydrated. Okay, because this is actually the time where a lot of things happen, and people get to faint around this time. So please wear something light, stay hydrated, be safe, and all of that. Now, moving on to the quote for today. The quote actually says, "There are far better things ahead than anything we left behind." I will say that again. There are far better things ahead than any we left behind. Now, this quote actually comes from the Christian author and apologist C.S. Lewis, and it is offering a message of looking to the future with faith and purpose, especially in times of hardship or transition, suggesting that spiritual or personal growth brings greater joy than past experiences. Lewis often expressed also that this sentiment is in relation to Christian beliefs, seeing that life as a journey towards a greater home, which is heaven. Heaven is the goal. No. Now let's look at the key aspects of this particular quote for a bit. First one is like the meaning encourages optimism, resilience, and letting go of past troubles to embrace future possibilities, aligning with faith that God has greater plans. Now, when I say you've let go of past troubles to embrace future possibility, I'm not saying be anxious or have anxiety over the future. Just be open-minded to the possibilities of good things happening in the future. Now, the context of this quote frequently is being used to comfort those facing illness or going through a tough time. As Lewis said it to a friend with declining health, and that was how the quote came about. Now, coping with loss as well, or coping with significant life changes, and promoting a forward-looking perspective and not dwelling on the past. Now, how do you apply this to your life? You ask me. We would actually be doing that if we get inspired by it. It actually inspires people to find meaning in present challenges and viewing them as stepping stones towards something better than dwelling on things that happened in the past. Okay, so do not forget that the quote says there are far better things ahead than anything we left in the past. There are far things ahead. Yeah, far better things rather ahead, better than what we left in the past. So I hope you actually hold on to that, and I hope you go by that. And if you're going through a very crazy time, I hope this actually inspires you to look forward to the future of a possibility that things would definitely get better. All right, so back to the music. This one is Stormzy doing Do Better. Stick around, keep it locked. We'll check out the front pages of various Nigerian dailies in a bit.
Yeah, let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Let it breathe, yeah. Let it breathe. One time, let it breathe. Yeah. If I can do better, then I'll be better. Rolling in the deep, I need to breathe better. I see demons in my sleep, I need to sleep better. Having visions of my friends in RIP sweaters. Have you ever had to sacrifice your health? Ever had to sacrifice yourself? Plus I got an army full of trying to sabotage my wealth. But I know it's self-destructive if I bang on myself. Wow, like God hold me down till I'm down. God hold me down till I drown. Hold me down till I drown. It's like I nearly fell into the ground, but the holy blood of Christ, you don't ever let me down. Lord knows I can back up in minutes and disappear. Wonder if I float with my man and just disappear. Number 17 on my little list of fears. Then she told me not to speak and she whispers in my ear like, I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. If I could've done better, would've got better. My brother looked me in my face and said you're not better. I said give me 2 secs, spill a spliff, take a hit, reminisce, and then I bet I feel a lot better. Man, I used to spend my time on the roof. It went a penthouse suite, but I was fine with the views. What you do with your pain? I put mine in the zoo. Then I smoke it all the way to take my mind off the truth. Was in trouble from you, had desire for war. Put my mummy a coupe, she nearly cried on the floor. Spend time in my sneaks, so spend the night in my thoughts. You walk a mile in these, I walk a mile in yours. Oh man, all the things I've been battling through the year. Wonder if my bro would've made it if I was there. Number 25 on my little list of fears. Then she tells me not to speak and she whispers in my ear like, I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I know everything is okay. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better. I'ma need you to do better.
All right, Stormzy doing Do Better, and we are back to 13 minutes past 8 a.m. from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. This is Melody Sunrise, and my name is Bolabad. It is time to go through the front pages of various Nigerian dailies this beautiful morning, and per usual, I have the Nigerian Tribune, Vanguard, the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and the Nation newspaper this morning. So we'll begin from the front page of the Nation newspaper, and the first headline I'll be checking says Barao receives Atiku's son into APC. And that story is a writer attached to it, says it's his choice, says ex-VP. And that story can be found on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Asu Konwa hopeful unpacked with federal government. And the story has a writer as well, autonomy still an issue. Stories on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this very morning. Now moving on from that, Alaf and rejects Olubadan's chairmanship of Oba's Council, and that story is on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. This is shocking actually, because the Alaf was not in attendance of that meeting. And the governor did say that he consulted the three kings and they decided unanimously to pick Olubado as the chairman of the Oba's Council. So it's shocking. Stories on page 5 anyway, just in case you want to read and get the balance of that story. It is a drama in the royal space, right? All right, now moving on from that, December inflation settled at 15.15%. And that story is on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. To another headline, NRS, that is the kicker, no VAT on bank transfers, on page 7. This one, actually, I saw it and I was like, what is wrong with our people? Why do they peddle like fake news and fake stories? Like, because I saw the old 7.5%, VAT on bank transfers, and I was like, azazazaw, like why? Kudos to NRS for actually coming out to debunking it, with a full chest and everything, actually having an art designed and all of that. But you can get that on page 7 of the Nation newspaper, just in case you're wondering what VAT again. All right, now moving on to the biggest headline of the Nation newspaper, says Edu as the kicker, building on reforms gains for better results, our goal. And that story has a writer, cost of living pressures remain elevated, says NESG. Stories on the front page, but continues on page 2 of the Nature newspaper this very morning. EU removes Nigeria from terrorism financing list. Story has a writer, says it is a boost for nation's financial standing. Story is also on the front page, continues on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Peace we enjoy due to vigilance, sacrifice, says Tinubu. Story has a writer, falling heroes won't be forgotten. Story is also on the front page, but continues on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline, Anyoku Amuka canvass true federalism at Okwadokun's book presentation. Stories on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this very morning. Now moving on to the front page of the Guardian newspaper, Kano governor deputy part ways over defection. Stories on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Alleged 110.4 billion naira fraud. That is the kick of this headline. EFCC tenders fresh bank records against Yahaya Bello. Others, and that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. More banks meet recapitalization threshold as tally exceeds 20. Stories on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. How 300% cost spike, drug rationing turned diabetes to death threat. And that story is on big story pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Moving on from that story, armed forces resolute against terrorism, says CDS amid poses about Tinubu's absence. And that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. NESG projects 5.5 growth, 16% inflation in 2026. Warns against policy reversals, and that story is on page 6 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. United States sanctions, that is the kick of this headline. Foreign airlines battle drop in passenger traffic, and that story is on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Federal government ASU deal promises improved post-service welfare for academic staff, and that story is on page 25 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. For Barra's impeachment stalls as lawmakers failed to reconvene, and that story is on page 27 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Atiku's son dumps PDP for APC, backs Tinubu's second term. Stories on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Interesting, isn't it? Moving on from the Guardian newspaper to the front page of the Punch, 2027, that is the kick of this first headline. Atiku's son joins APC, backs Tinubu's re-election. Stories on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Rivers crisis, that is the kicker. Assembly shelves seating amid rumored plot against Speaker. Stories on page 7 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Alaafin kicks as Makinde installs Ladoja chairman of Oba Council. And that story is on page 3 of the Punch newspaper this morning. To the biggest headline on the front page of the Punch newspaper, counter-insurgency campaign, that is the kicker. United States votes $413 million for security operations in Nigeria and others. Story has a just one writer attached to it. Says 2026 Fiscal Act backs African Bureau as United States AFRICOM tracks Russia's military ambitions. Stories on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Armed Forces Day, that is the kick of this headline. Tinubu governors celebrates soldiers and fallen heroes. That story can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this very morning. Now, moving on from that to the front page of Vanguard newspaper this morning. First headline I'll be taking from the front page of the Vanguard reads 2026 budget as the kicker. Ministry votes over 500 million naira for makeup artists, hairdressers, grinding machines. And that story is on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Abducted doctor in Edo regains freedom after 50 million naira ransom. Stories on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Armed Forces Remembers Day, that is the kick of this headline. Tinubu Shettima governors, others pay tribute to fallen heroes. Stories on page 27 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Rivers Assembly fails to resume amid impeachment saga. Stories on page 12 of Vanguard newspaper this morning, and checking out the biggest headline on the front page of Vanguard, it says 152 trillion naira debt driven by forex rates, adjustments and reforms, according to the finance minister. Story has a handful of riders. It says first rider says 30 trillion naira ways and means now recognized. Another writer says insists debt rise driven by FX revaluation, not fresh borrowings. Another writer says 2025 deficit at 3.4% of GDP shows fiscal resilience. And another writer, the last one, says experts react. And that story is on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Moving on to another headline, the gun hegemony. And that story, that is the kicker. And the story reads, our military incursion arrested Nigeria's growth, and that is a statement credited to Anyawu, Amuka, or Kwadoku, and others. Story has two writers. First one says, seek urgent return to plural federal constitution, and the second writer says, Tinubu Sanwo-Olu or Shoba. Others fit or Kwadoku, and that story is on page 7 of Vanguard newspaper this very morning. The Armed Forces, a remembrance finale, as pictures, story to this one with the Vice President in attendance and other ministers of state for FCT, Dr. Maria Mahmood Bakure, and also Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, could also be seen alongside other important personalities. Pictures attached to the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Now moving on to the front page of Nigerian Tribune. The first headline I'll be taking says Atiku's son Abba dumps PDP, vows to mobilize for Tinubu's re-election. Story as a writer says his decision to join APC's personnel, says ex-vice president, that is his father. And that story is on page 16 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. VAT is on charges collected by banks on customers' transaction, says NRS, clarifying the entire 7.5 VAT on each transaction. And that story is on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Moving on to the biggest headline on the front page of Nigerian Tribune, it says relief for exporters, importers, banks as Nigeria exits EU financial high-risk list. And that story has three riders attached to it. The first one says national economy to grow by 4.7%, says finance minister. And the second rider says country has shifted from stabilization to consolidation. And the final rider says headline inflation eased to 15.50% in December 2025. And that is a statement credited to NBS. And that story is on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. To another headline, Shatima Pabio governors serve as chiefs. Others honor fallen heroes. The story has a rider attached to it. Says ADS raises concerns over president's absence, and that story can be found on page 22 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Okpadokun's gun hegemony rekindles debate for federalism, democracy. And that story is on page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Checking out the health column, says exercise like medicines can ease depression symptoms, and that is credited to a study being done. And that story is on page 12 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Alaafin absent as Olubado emerges chairman or your Council of Obas and Chiefs, and that story has a rider attached to it as well. Makinde revives council 15 years after, and that story is on page 6 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. 2026 budget, that is the kick of the headline. 344.8 billion naira retained for NAS. Story has two riders attached to it. Says science, technology, innovation to spend 838.6 billion naira. And the second rider says foreign affairs gets 344.054 billion naira. And that story is on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune this very morning. And this is as far as we can go, checking out the front pages of various Nigerian dailies this morning. The time is 8:26 from the studios, and do not forget that by 8:30 the sports crew will be in the studios to take us through the exciting world of sports. In the meantime, auditioning the engine featuring Wani coming through with better days. Stick around.
Shawty is a stone cold killer, two shots to my liver. I don't judge, everybody is a sinner, here for the holiday, two passports so she get away, pray for the better days, all this stuff where we face, no go see her name. Where I'm from, many niggas don't like me, where I'm from, many niggas tryna fight me, cause a lady lot of ball and I'm icy, walking looking good, looking spicy. On a Friday, see me be shy. Watch my back, cause niggas tryna violate. All my girls, they love in a hurry, but they always by my side. I know what you want, my girl. I see who you want, my girl. I know what you want, my girl. Don't keep me waiting. I know what you want, my girl. I see who you want, my girl. I know what you want, my girl. You got me fucked up. Shawty is a stone cold killer, two shots to my liver. I don't judge, everybody is a sinner, here for the holiday, two passports so she get away, praying for the better days, all this stuff where we friends, no go see her name. Niggas make it so hard to be friendly, they want wonder when I know that they envy. Shawty, you never let me down like you got the love locked down like cruising the next girl. Niggas ain't moving correctly. You make a nigga wanna be there when you call. I got all you need and more, my baby. I know what you want, my girl. I see who you want, my girl. I know what you want, my girl. Don't keep me waiting. I know what you want, my girl. I see who you want, my girl. I know what you want, my girl. You got me fucked up. Oh my God, shawty is a stone cold killer, two shots to my liver. I don't judge, everybody is a sinner, here for the holiday, two passports so she get away, praying for the better days, all this stuff where we face, no go see her name.
I love this station, Melody 100.7 FM.
All right, we're back to it. It is 8:30 from the studios, and that was Odunsi, the engine, and Wani doing Better Days. Okay, my name is Bolabad, and this is Melody Sunrise. It is time to talk sports. I have the Sport Bam Bam in the studios. Beautiful morning to you. You're not wearing your Nigerian jersey today. What's going on?
Till tomorrow, till tomorrow. Tomorrow, the third place game is tomorrow, so for now, let me just keep it chill. I mean, they disappointed me against...
I wasn't disappointed anyway.
Against Morocco.
Personally, I wasn't disappointed.
Wow.
I never really
Why?
supported them like all the way. They were doing good, but I knew that something was going to happen, and something did happen. But I like the fact that I predicted that, with Morocco, the game was going to end up in penalties, and that happened, because I foresaw that was going to be a very tough game.
Yeah.
I mean, the host country, come on, stop playing. And then there was Chukwueze, doing someone that wanted... Are you doing TikTok live? What's the problem?
A lot of people called him out on social media.
Why would they call him out? What is wrong with you? I don't... A lot of celebrities have been ranting, but the rant that actually topped my list was Bobby's rant. Bobby's rant was a calculated, well-articulated rant, because it started off with, I'm a professional and I don't like when people tell me how to do my job, so I'm not going to tell people how to do their job. And then I started, it was building up up until it got to Chukwueze. How do you... It is actually guts brings glory, not glory brings gut. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah,
Put in the work, then you can jubilate and celebrate for the camera. What exactly is wrong with you? Chewing gum and posing...
Well, if the keeper had gone the other way, it would have been a fantastic penalty, honestly.
That was skills, fool. Why are you trying to... No. Why are you trying to
What I just feel is, when the Moroccan player lost the penalty, if Chukwueze had scored, it would have given Nigeria that momentum.
Yeah.
That was where... Because nobody's calling the other guy that lost the penalty.
But Chukwueze did the most.
And his run off to the penalty kick was terrible. But it is what it is. You want to find... But for...
It's just annoying. It would have been another thing if we had lost, and then, there was no theatrics involved and all of that. But it was crazy. People were counting on you. People were counting on the Super Eagles. That's the only thing that was giving Nigerians collective joy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say people individually, but collectively, and just like Bobby did say in that rant, that is the only thing that really unites Nigerians.
Yeah, everyone.
Football.
Yeah.
We don't care if you're a Muslim or a Christian. So far we're watching Super Eagles match, we don't care if you're Igbo or Hausa. There is nothing. We're just one, when we are watching Nigerians play. But it is what it is. We're playing the run-offs we're facing Egypt.
Yeah. And let's just see how it pans out tomorrow. But why are you laughing?
Shout out to Nigeria. We came fourth in the AFCON.
Is it our third or fourth?
That's what I'm saying. We came fourth in the AFCON. It was a good run. Better luck next time. Hopefully the social media wouldn't get to our Super Eagles heads, But I have to credit every single person that put out, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good game eventually, but like someone did say, you can't beat the system, and all of that. So, and it was a Ghanaian that was the referee too.
Poor officiated. It was really...
They do not want us to qualify because you people did not qualify for AFCON, and you know that you cannot get to semi-finals in World Cup. You're not eating. You're doing nonsense.
But for the ladies, their quest for the 11th AFCON is coming up. Nigeria in Group C with
It's paining me. At this point, I feel bad for Daniel. Where is he? I see that I'm still dragging this, but at this point, I feel bad. Because was boasting, I told him on Wednesday that, it was going to end in penalty shootout. And then it's not going to be just a game of luck. I do not, penalty is not just about, how to play football or anything. Now it's a game of luck and everything. And I don't really see the luck actually tilting towards Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, if it actually ended in penalty. But then,
But I'm just happy that we have a team because the coach was able to build up a
So
formidable
all
team.
of those promises that billionaire promised them won't go now.
So he gave them
like,
$500,000.
Really? You
Yeah.
did? Oh, that's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Hopefully, like that would ginger them for the next
Yeah.
tournament that, or next outing that will go for. I mean, you people are representing us. You are giving us joy. You understand? So you have to play like that. Like our lives depend on it.
Coach Bolabad. Oshé. It's not easy.
Anyway, that and more will be coming your way this beautiful morning. I'll be stepping aside to return to the microphone by 9 a.m. Like I did say, I'll be having a guest, an expert. We'll be talking about the tax and everything that comes in between with the tax, things that you need to know, because I know that a lot of people do not understand that tax. You people are just using ACO, using equal to carry it. But we'll be breaking it down bit by bit so you can understand. But in the meantime, you're welcome. Time to talk sports.
From deep in out. That's a smashing ball. It's Martins.
Josie, Yobo, good ball.
And it's pushed out to the bow.
Double Odesi.
Sensational. What a wonderful finish. That is the most embarrassing own goal. Oh, what a goal. That's something out of nothing. He struck it sweetly. And does he ever score ordinary goals? They're all copybook stuff.
All right, it's another beautiful time again to talk sport right here on Melody 100.7 FM. On this show, we serve you the best of sporting stories making the rounds, the ever excited and ever scintillated weather sport. It's a lot to talk about. Basketball is in the news, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and also something about CAF. And not to forget the ladies, the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I will also go on to the foreign scene and talk about the matches we saw yesterday. All right, I'm Akimbo Bola Egofemi. Welcome aboard.
Warriors, and now it's Hart. Takes it out to McBride for three. That's how the Knicks want to start after their season worst shooting night yesterday. They're 1 for 1 from downtown. That jump shot goes. Moses Moody with a downtown hit. Get it ahead. Ananobi in attack mode. He takes it at the chest of post and missed it. Offensive rebound, Hart. Bridges steps into a three.
Well, and already we see the Josh Hart effect.
Towns off the double team. Ananobi, nice ball fake. Oh, long strides on the rack attack. Shot clock is winding down. Hard swing. McBride has to hoist. And rattles home on a tray.
Anybody shoot with a higher arc than Miles McBride, Ian?
Butler takes the baseline and switches. Ananobi with the finish. And the Knicks are clicking. 28-14. Ananobi. A three ball from Ananobi. And the Knicks have taken a 31-14 lead. Santos, they need it. They got it. It's a triple. Golden State trying to generate some offense. Curry will do it himself. Gets to the rim for two. Oh, Melton. A little rope-a-dope from DeAnthony Melton. Hart gets around Melton. Dishes. Yabusele had it blocked. Bullet goes deep. Caught by Hart. Working against the clock. Hart, it's blocked by Melton. And a shot clock violation. He is a tough defender, and he has given the Warriors so much juice coming back from his injury. Jimmy Butler upstairs for the jam. Clarkson in a double team. Horford denies it. Get it ahead. Melton makes a move. Yabusele goes for the block. Butler, the follow goes. If you don't get it the first time, try again. Jimmy Butler with a chance for three. And Butler anticipates. Oh, that's Marquette against Marquette crime. Immediately. Shannon, a corner jump. No. Towns snatches the rebound and puts it in.
That's his fifth offensive rebound of the only 3 of them show up on.
It's not easy to do. It's down to 1. Ananobi, his jumper is good. Beats the shot clock. Pajemski trying to get around Bridges. It's in, out, and in for Pajemski. McBride couldn't step back. Ananobi gets inside for the bucket and the foul.
Making a great adjustment.
McBride got 3. Wow. All in. Pajemski takes it away and lays it home. So a cherry on top for Golden State. The Knicks wrap up this 4-game Western swing 1-3.
All right, so that was how we have that today in the National Basketball Association, where Golden State defeated New York Knicks. They have them for barbecue chicken 126 to 113. Yeah, for Jimmy Butler, he put up 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry was also sensational in that game. 27 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. And for Karl Anthony Towns, 17 points, 20 rebounds, and 2 assists, but it wasn't enough to defeat Golden State Warriors right up there. So it ended Golden State Warriors 126 and New York Knicks 113. Other games in the National Basketball Association, we saw Orlando Magic defeat Memphis Grizzlies 118 to 111. Detroit Pistons defeated Phoenix Suns 108 to 105. Oklahoma City Thunder, with the help of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 111 to 91. Yes, as they defeated Houston Rockets early this morning. For Boston Celtics, they defeated Miami Heat 119 to 114. And San Antonio Spurs 119 to 101 as they defeated Milwaukee Bucks right for there. For Dallas Mavericks, they defeated Utah Jazz 144 to 122. For Portland Trail Blazers, they defeated Atlanta Hawks 117 to 101. And for Charlotte Hornets, quite surprised seeing that game. Yes, they defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 135 to 117. And LeBron James was in that game. Quite shocking. All right, leaving basketball and straight to football. All right, the CAF Confederation of African Football, that's CAF, yes, has conducted the official draw for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, known as the WAFCON, set to take place in Morocco. Now, the defending champions, Nigeria Super Falcons, have been drawn in Group C, where they will face Zambia, Egypt, and Malawi in the group stage of the tournament. The 9-time African champions will be aiming to extend their dominance on the continent after clinching a record of 10th WAFCON title in 2025. The Falcons secured the crown with a thrilling 3-2 victory over the host Morocco in the final, further cementing their status as Africa's most successful women's national team. For Group C, it's expected to be competitive, yes, with Zambia emerging as one of the strongest sides in women's football in recent years, while Egypt and Malawi will be looking forward to challenge the reigning champions, that's the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And for host Morocco, they would headline Group A alongside Algeria, Senegal, and Kenya. For Group B, it features reigning runner-ups South Africa, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania. And while Group D consists of Ghana, Cameroon, Mali, and Cape Verde. So the 2026 WAFCON promises high-quality competition as African top women's teams battle for continental supremacy in Morocco once again. Now, big question, why is it always Morocco? For the men, Morocco, the last WAFCON, it was Morocco, men again, this time 2025, Morocco, and the next WAFCON, Morocco. Other countries, they need to develop their stadiums, they need to develop their sport, because every time it's always Morocco, Morocco, Morocco. Yesterday, I saw a tweet from Asisa Toshola calling out other African countries to do well in terms of their sport infrastructure. We can't continue to depend on Morocco. That's why every time they get to the final, the 2025 WAFCON, they were at the finals, thanks to the Super Falcons of Nigeria for defeating them 3-2. And now they're in the finals in the men's. Hopefully the next one, they don't get to the finals, with Super Falcons winning the 11th title right there. All right, leaving the WAFCON and straight to CAF, the Confederation of African Football CAF Executive Committee is set to convene on Friday, and that's today, January 16, 2026, in Rabat, Morocco, in a meeting expected to address several key issues affecting African football. Now, one of the major highlights of the meeting could be the announcement of the host nation for the 2028 African Cup of Nations, a decision eagerly anticipated by football stakeholders across the continent. Now, the executive committee is also expected to deliberate on the competition's calendar, development programs, and organization matter as CAF continues to shape its long-term strategic direction. With Rabat hosting the high-level meeting, attention will be firmly fixed on developments surrounding the AFCON 2028 hosting rights as CAF move closer to confirming the next destination for Africa's flagship football tournament. Hopefully, it's not Morocco. All right, leaving CAF and straight to former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. Yes, he will make his return to the octagon on March 28, headlining the UFC C2 card against fifth-ranked contender Joey Pfeiffer. The bout marks a crucial moment for the last stylebender, who is currently on a 3-fighting loss streak, while his opponent enters on a 3-match winning run. And for Adesanya, he has shifted focus away from reclaiming the UFC middleweight belt, instead choosing to enjoy his fights and take risks while entertaining fans. And for Pfeiffer, he holds 12-2 professional record. This represents one of the biggest opportunities of his career. The American has admitted that other fighters were more deserving of the bout. Now, taking his quote, he said, "I was offered a fight against Paulo Costa initially, but I welcomed the chance to fight Adesanya. I recognize him as a legendary opponent. The matchup promises to be a striking heavy contest with both fighters known for their stand-up game rather than wrestling." And that's what Pfeiffer said. So he would have chosen other people like Paulo Costa, who is doing so well, but rather he chose Adesanya, because he recognizes him as a legendary opponent. So right there, the UFC C2 card, which also feature Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber, is yet to be fully finalized. So it's all the best to Israel Adesanya, the style bender. All right, leaving UFC and straight to Nigeria. Yes, Imo State Liaison Committee for the second Niger Delta Games has mobilized all the local government areas of the state for proper screening and scouting of athletes for the games scheduled for Benin, Edo State. The Commissioner for Sport, who doubles as the chairman of the State Liaison Committee, Obina Oyecho, told journalists that the state is prepared and fully ready to improve on the last outing in Uyo. Now, according to the commissioner, the state is determined to improve on its performance at the maiden edition in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, and has urged the local government areas to ensure that they register the very best athletes that will participate in the state trials. It further stated that the state had completed preparation for the game, adding that promising young athletes from across Imo had already been identified and assembled for the event. So it's all the best to Imo State as they declare readiness for the second Niger Delta Games. So away from Nigeria and straight to the foreign scene. Yes, where Barcelona defeated Racing Santander 2-1. Lamine Yamal was promising in that game as he finishes the job. The Wonder Kid seals Copa del Rey win after the super sub Fermin Lopez tees up Ferran Torres, I beg your pardon, to get a 2-0 win against Racing Santander. So what Real Madrid couldn't do, Barcelona did it. That's why I would always say, Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya. All right, let's listen to the highlight of the game where Barcelona had the Racing Santander for barbecue chicken in that game. So for Barcelona, they avoided the Copa del Rey upset thanks to second half goals from Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal in a 2-1 win. A day after beaten rivals, Real Madrid were dumped out of the competition by second division side Albacete. For Hans Flick men, they overcame a stern examination against similar opposition on Thursday. The cup holders were indebted to substitute Fermin Lopez as they reached the quarterfinals in a battling fashion. Now, after the game was delayed by 15 minutes due to security reasons, the leaders of the La Liga 2 went toe-to-toe with Spanish top flight's number 1 team. Joan Garcia had to be allowed to tip Aldasaro's course over the bar before Arana added over the top when in a good position. Now, at the other end, Rashford was denied by goalkeeper Joaquin Ezequieta, but despite their dominance with possession, Barcelona didn't fashion any clear-cut chances in the first half. The visitors started the second half with more vigor, with Lamine Yamal flashing a shot just past the post. And in the 66th minute, their brave resistance came to an end when Ferran Torres rounded the keeper and slotted home following a through ball from Fermin Lopez. The home fans thought they had leveled 10 minutes later when Manix Lozano fired past Garcia, but the substitute was offside in the build-up. Now, despite a late surge, which involved Garcia making a crucial save just before full-time, Barca went up the other end, and Lamine Yamal scored a tap-in to El Barcelona go a round further than a Xabi Alonso-less Madrid side. Other games we saw yesterday in the German Bundesliga, Augsburg played a 1-1 draw with Union Berlin in that one, and also we had Verona play Bologna 3-2. Bologna had Verona for barbecue chicken 3-2. It ended. For AC Milan, they defeated Como 3-1. In the MPFL, we saw Casina United defeat Kun Khalifa 2-0. Right there. Tomorrow, we've got lots of games to talk about. Yes, for the Premier League, Man City will square things out tomorrow against Manchester United. For in the Ligue 1, we have Monaco against Lorient, PSG against Lille, Werder Bremen against Eintracht Frankfurt tomorrow in the German Bundesliga. In the Serie A, we have Atalanta. They would slog things out with Pisa. Sporting CP against Casapia today. Yes, in the Sporting, the French Ligue 1 right there. All right, tomorrow we've got a game. Yes, Egypt will slog things out against Nigeria, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. In the Premier League, Manchester United against Manchester City, Chelsea against Brentford, Leeds against Fulham, Liverpool against Burnley, Sunderland against Crystal Palace, Tottenham Hotspur will slog things out with West Ham, Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. In the French Ligue 1, Lens against Auxerre, Toulouse against Nice, Angers against Marseille right there. In the German Bundesliga, Dortmund will slog things out with Sao Paulo, FC Cologne against Mainz, Hamburger against Borussia Mönchengladbach, Hoffenheim against Bayern Leverkusen, Wolfsburg against Antwerp. In the German Bundesliga, we're also going to see Leipzig against Bayern Munich. In the Serie A, Udinese against Inter Milan, Napoli against Sassuolo, Cagliari against Juventus right there. In the Eredivisie, Ajax against Go Ahead Eagles, Zoli against AZ Alkmaar, and also PSV will log things out with Sittard right there. In the MPFL, Bendel Insurance against El Kanemi Warriors. Later today on The Crucial, we'll talk about some of these stories extensively. Yes, until later today, 6 p.m. to 7 when I come your way again. I'm Akim Popola Egufemi. Good morning.
7 FM. Stay cool with Melody.
High market value for dance wani. Born to be soft, forced to be tough. Coupe, be bamba. Baba don't show love, I'm just a spender. When they say no, way. She wanna say. Price me up, the way kaka. Mumba fele de mumba kaka. Spin up on my song before replay. Confetti make the money spray. Daddy shoki lojo galala. Baby, yeah, jalala. See Baba. Na easy sabali Bobo. Follow like Bobo, follow she Bobo. Na easy sabali Bobo. Follow like Bobo, follow she.
You no put sentiment in my 20% if I watch the illegal. So fellow won't laugh at you move ya. Let me call the money exchanger. But see the bulletproof glass on top the Land Cruiser. In case of unknown shooters. You never say I'm breaking my shoulder. Because I know relate with your brother. Code holy, I'm a loco. Hold me tight like Akago. I said they shine like diamond. I put the drop like carnival. And they go be like magician when I'm on billboard. I'm not day by day. I know if you hide my face, but what I got me. I put the party on Choco Loco. They call the band if they call me
Bobo. Na easy sabali Bobo. Follow like Bobo, follow she Bobo. Na easy sabali Bobo. Follow like Bobo, follow she.
Money no they bring happiness. Only àtijọ́. Ẹnẹ́kúnlẹ̀ jàǹbó kó money ó pariwo jẹ́. Oh my God. Mentality could make you feel like say enjoyment in a lavish. When you get back, jump to that Sarah, no look at your face. Cause if you get big, please make you get 500 bubble. If you no get money, you bubble. And money be fine bubble. And they no see you out bubble.
Na easy sabali Bobo.
100.7 FM. Stay cool with Melody.
From Melody 100.7 FM, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. The time is 9 a.m.
We're back to it. It's 1 minute past 9 a.m. from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. A beautiful morning to you and yours if you're just tuning in. This is Melody Sunrise, and my name is Bolabad. We'll be here from now, till 9:55 still, but we are not live inside of the People's Assembly. And I said earlier that I'll be having a guest in the studios, an expert, to talk about things that we need to know concerning the tax law reform or tax reform law and everything that has to do with it. Because I can tell you for a fact, I know a lot of Nigerians that are saying that, they still do not understand what the tax law is all about, what it is all about. We'll be talking about that, breaking it down, and talking about the most frequently asked questions, the discrepancies, and everything all in between. And also, as my honorable in the house, you get to call me up if you need clarification concerning anything, or if you have a question outside maybe things that we touch in the studios. You can put a call through and call me up and let me know, and I will relay your message to the expert, and she can answer your question also as well. All right, so her name is Oladiti Omolola. She is an accountant with experience in taxation and financial reporting, and she's passionate, very, very passionate about simplifying financial information and helping individuals and businesses make informed financial decision. And one of that thing that is not inside that bio is that she is fine. Okay. She's in the studios with me, and we'll be having this conversation together, talking about tax law reform and everything that comes with it. A beautiful morning to you. Egbenusi Mike, please.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine.
It's so nice to be here.
And nice to have you on the show this morning. How has it been for you?
Fine. It has been cool with me.
And Happy New Year.
Same to you.
All right, so where to begin? Now, let's talk about the tax reform law as well. So what exactly does it entail? First off, when you hear tax reform law, what should come to people's mind? What is the first thing, or what does it entail in itself?
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of tax has been something that has been causing a lot of rumors, especially to the average Nigerians. But all these rumors now are not actually true. In what sense? Because when you hear the word reform, even let's leave tax now, like the word reform in its real sense is like you want to readjust something, or you want to reshape something, Let's use a house, for example, like you want to recolor the painting of your house. That is what reform is. So if Nigerian government is coming and saying they want to make a reform to the tax law, so the real meaning of it, not to waste our time, is to make a change or a difference on the existing tax law. It's not as if there is a new tax law. It's to make an adjustment so that it will be easier for the average and everybody in Nigeria. The collection and the usage of the tax will be so easy. So it is the reform is an advantage on every one of us. So that is just the truth.
Okay. Yeah. So another question that people are asking is that for representatives or inclusiveness, what was the process leading up to the tax reform laws? Because a lot of time, the one that has happened in recent times, the one that actually got leaked in December, was even her House of Rep actually raising the concern of probably what was passed on the floor of, the House of Reps and also the Senate is not the same thing that is out there. It is not the same law that is being passed or said to be passed and used on an average Nigerian. I don't know if you saw that or if you're aware of that. Have you been able to look at probably like the gazetted one and the one that was passed on the Senate floor?
Yes, not to waste our time, I don't need to go through the whole statement by reading out and explain and re-explain, but I will just be straight because of our audience, especially the average Nigerians. You see, this law is in levels and in classifications, and even in the world today, we have average people, we have medium people, and we have the top ones, but the anger in the heart of Nigerian is that we are not seeing the effect of this tax and you're asking us to pay. So I'll be simplifying, I'll be explaining these sectors. We have formal sectors and we have the informal sectors. So, but the major ones that are not clear about this tax reform is the informal sectors. Like all these market women, they are like, how much am I earning? You are expecting me to pay tax.
Even POS people.
Exactly. In fact, I was in a market, is it December? I wanted to buy something, and the woman was saying, you will add VAT money. I was laughing. Like, what? It's not like that. So one of our major challenges in Nigeria is because there is low knowledge about this tax
reform. There was no sensitization.
Yes, exactly. And I can't blame Nigeria because the tax law was written in a legal language. So for an average Nigeria, they might not understand. But this is the bitter truth. For informal sector, like individuals, like they are earning small, like they don't even register their business with the CAC. The tax law says the tax man are not even looking for them. That's just the bitter truth people are not aware of.
Yeah,
you get
like there's an earning bracket.
Exactly. So for people, for the informal sector, the sole proprietorship, the one-man business, they are not even registered. They don't even have capacity for documentation. This kind of people, their turnover is not even up to 25 million in a year. Even some to earn, I'm not sure some even earn 5 million in a year. So the tax reform is saying
do people even document? Now let's go back for a bit.
Okay.
Who are those that are affected when it comes to the informal sector? Like that is like the business owners and everything. What earning bracket are we looking at for us to get taxed?
All right. So the bracket has been simplified into 3 sectors: the small brackets, the medium ones, and the top one. So the reform says, unlike the old law, the reform says any business owner that is not earning up to from 0 to 25 million annually, like in a year. For people that don't know the meaning of annually, like in a year, every of your sales, everything that you have accumulated is not up to 25 million. The reform is saying you are exempted 100%.
Okay.
But people don't have this awareness. They just feel
like they want to tax everybody.
Exactly. And the beauty part of it, that is for the business owner. What about employee?
9 to 5ers.
9 to 5, yeah, exactly.
Because personally, when that came out, my own fear is that, normally we get salaries and we get taxed for our salaries. So the salary that I earn is not what comes to my account at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets deducted. Yeah. Would there be an extra deduction when it comes to that?
As per the employee and employer relationship, it is expected for every standard organization that you should deduct some allowances and there are some reliefs in your tax. So in your payroll, you could see you have some deduction like pension, you have deduction like NHL and tax. So for employee, the new tax reform says if you are earning like a minimum wage per month, or let's say for instance all your net or all your gross pay is like 1.2 million naira in a year, so that means you are earning like 100,000 in a month. Such people are exempted for tax.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
I thought
because the bracket says the first 800,000 you make is 0%.
Ah.
Yes. So if you
are
making
that's 20,000 extra. Wow.
You see, your allowances, there are some deductions, right? Your gross pay, they will deduct. There's something called employee payments. That is, pension is 8% of the employee, than 10% of the employer. You right? So deducting this thing. Also, another relief we have is rent.
Yeah, rent relief.
Yes, you have the reform said you have up to 500,000 rent relief.
Okay, how
as
does
an
that
employee.
work?
Okay, how does this work is that, for example, as an employee, and I mean as an employee, let's say your annual gross is 1.2 million naira in a year. There are deduction, of course. Let's say your NHIS, like health insurance, let's say it's 70,000, or let's say it's no, we can't say. Let's say it's 84,000 in a year. That is 7,000 naira per month, right? Now you have your pension 10,000. Let's say it's 1.2. Let's now assume you have a rent of 350,000 naira. You know, rent is always annually, right? No, so there is a percentage on rent. At least, if you will not get the whole 500,000 from 350, you know, 350 is not up to 500,000.
Yeah.
So there is a percentage on your 350,000. I think for people of 350,000 is 70,000. You have a relief of 70,000.
Oh, really?
Yes. That you can be deducted from your tax liability.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you see that your net is like around 800 or 700 plus, and you are paying zero
tax.
Exactly. So this tax reform it is fair. There is fairness in it, unlike before. It is a progressive tax whereby the low earners, they pay nothing or little, and the high earners, they pay higher.
Okay, before we get to the high income earners, like those that are earning big money, 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. I'll take that again, 07025 201 007 or 07055 071 007. Those are the numbers to call me up on or send messages to. Let me know what you actually, that question that you have or things that have been clarified to you right now, you know, that you really want to talk about concerning the tax reform laws. You know, there is Mrs. Olabisi still in the studios, and we'll be talking about. So call me up, send messages, let me have that question. You can also head to Facebook and join. We're live on Facebook at Melody 100.7 FM on Facebook. That is Melody 100.7 FM. We're also live on Radio Garden at Melody 100.7 FM, so you can listen online as well to the conversation. All right, so we're discussing the tax and the VAT proposal and all of that. So why exactly do you think that this is generating so much controversy in Nigeria?
Okay, so one of the reasons why it's generating so much confusion, I will call it, especially in the midst of Nigeria, is because number one, there is little or no clarification about the reform. Then number two is there is a question in the heart of Nigeria. Why should I be paying tax if I still cater for my electricity myself? If I'm walking on a bad road, if I'm paying for my water for myself, so why should I pay tax? So when, you know, the reform is not the problem. The tax is not even the problem because there is no accountability in Nigeria, and everybody believe that okay, why you know, it look as if they are extorting the poor. It look as if they are they are eating the low earners, and they felt like no, you are coming with tax again. So everybody don't want to hear whether it's reform, whether it's benefit,
so far
whether
there's
it's
tax, and I hear that you might collect my money.
My God. You know, it's even in a working system, a working nation or country, nobody wants to pay money. That's just the bitter truth. No, but even in a working environment, nobody wants to pay money. So the reform is not an issue, but the issue is you want to take my money, my hard-earned money. You know, people were crazy. People were like, no, it's unfair. But the truth of the matter is reform. This reform actually is an advantage, a big advantage, especially to the average Nigerian.
Okay, now let's talk about the big earners now. So for the big businesses, they're going to be taxed more, right? You just tax the big earners and tax the low income earners less, but tax the big income earners more. Don't you think that it will still trickle down to affect the low income earners? Like, say for instance, you know, the what's it called now? Probably like a bread company, or should I say a bakery, like those that produce biscuits and all of that. I don't want to mention names, but you know, and these people are, you know, producing massively and they earn big. So if you're saying I'm taxing them more, wouldn't they increase the price of commodity, which in turn will affect a Nigerian that is still trying to navigate this economy.
Of course.
So basically, how do we move around that one? But before we get to that question,
Okay.
what is the tax bracket for the big income earners?
All right, thank you very much. Let me make a clarification about, we dwell more on the informal sector, people that don't actually register their business. So I will start from people that register their business. One of the major knowledge that mass, especially the business owners, they are not aware of, because I can't blame them, because even the tax agents, the representative, they charge cost on business owner. But even if your income at the end of the year is not taxable, like you are exempted, it is expected as a business owner to do what we call filing. Yeah, even though you are not paying any money, like a kind of documentation, a kind of declaration, like, okay, this is what I made, these are my expenses. And this tax bracket percentage we are even talking about is not on your turnover, it's not on all your income. You must have deduct all your expenses. So it is on profit, it's not on turnover. So even if you are not paying any tax, it is expected of you to file. It is expected of you to file as
also for someone that is selling probably like cake online, like this, that cake vendor, food vendors online, and everybody just uses Vibes and Inshallah in Nigeria. Nobody is keeping records of, how much I've made today, or things like that, even when the expenses and the profit margin is actually blurring up. So what advice would you give to the business owners, so to say?
Just like what I've been saying, that someone can be selling cakes and the likes, or online businesses, and you can still be rendered small. It depends on your turnover at the end of the day. So if you know, as a business owner, you know that, okay, your business is booming, like you are seeing your turnover and is trying to exceed like 25 million, the government talk about. In that case, just get an expert, maybe in fact an accountant alone can do the job for you, like someone that is knowledgeable about this thing. You don't need, it's not like you are paying money every month or every year, or they are, okay, you make 1 million naira and they just put 30%, bam. No, it's not like that. The bracket is progressive. So if you make 10 million naira, as it is progressive, they will, if it is company now, if it is 25 million, 0 to 20 is 0%, but 25 million above to 100 million is 20%.
Oh, okay.
So from 100 million and above, Nigeria, if I am many 100 million,
you should declare. With your full chest, you should declare.
Man, you understand. So
I'm a big boy.
Of course. Even as the economic is worse today, 100 million naira
is not a joking stuff. Yeah.
So if you find yourself in that category, at least you deserve an accountant, you deserve an auditor, you deserve a tax representative, because these are the people that the tax man is looking for. You don't expect the tax man to come and meet someone that is selling bags of Coke or pure water and said you are owing tax. It doesn't worth it. Like, seriously, government will not even do that. But the target is all these millionaires, 100, you understand? Those are the target people. So, and if you find yourself in that category, you should have a proper documentation. You should have a proper reporting system. Not just, okay, you are just doing your thing. And that's one of the challenge of the government, and that is why this reform is coming into place, because a lot of business owners, but a lot of people are not paying tax.
Exactly.
I read is it a press of a particular country, I will not mention, and they need a population to carry out a decision in that country. And you see, they don't even think twice. They went to their tax portal, and they could get, because it is a system that is working over there. And so in Nigeria, we say we need population of Nigerians, and you say we want to use tax. Well, that's one of the purpose of this reform. They want to digitalize everything so that all information at a glance. I'm talking for government now. Everybody will be digitalized. They are using our NIN. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you're registered, you use your CAC.
Of course, if it is business, you use your CAC registration number. So everything will be digitalized. So it was discovered, and it's affecting our revenue. Fine, the system, I mean, Nigerians too.
Okay,
because
I want to ask you that. Okay. Are you from the UK?
No.
Are you not in the country?
No.
Are you not seeing things that is going on?
We see the things that is going on. And there's something that this man did. There's a committee headed by Mr. Taiwo.
Yeah.
Because people are talking about accountability, like they are paying tax, but they are not seeing the
what it's been used for.
So there is a committee and a framework that was developed by this committee that they gave to the government that can be used for accountability and fairness of the usage of tax. But they are human too. They are Nigerians. They can only advise the government. You cannot say, President Tinubu, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
No, that cannot work. You can only advise. And I believe that the arms of government, anyone that is hearing us on live right now, they can help us as well to keep talking about it and keep talking about it for accountability.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back for a bit.
Yeah.
We're talking about filing by,
okay.
What's it called now? By companies and also business owners.
Yeah.
What are the required documents
or
documentation?
Okay.
Yeah, for
filings.
For filings.
Yeah, for filings, if it is a personal income tax, like the employer to employee, it is expected of an employer to visit the state the State Internal Revenue Service to register. Okay, let's just start up. Like, I just want to start my business and I have like 5 employees. So it is expected of you as the CEO or the manager, visit your state internal revenue, then you register for payee. That is pay as you earn.
Yeah.
So you'll be remitting on a monthly basis. So let's assume you are deducting 1,000 from the tax from your employee, and that is 5,000 if you have 5 of them. So every month you're expected to do a schedule of the employee and you sign. Then you report, you write a check or anything to the state internal revenue. That is for payee, personal income tax. But if it is for company, if it is for company, once you have your CAC registered, yes, there's another mistake that people don't.
Let's hold that off for a bit. Hello, good morning, Honorable.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from,
Sorry,
sir?
am I calling the studio?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, there is this Alaji Kama that used to do program at these stations.
Okay.
Yeah, I need the contact.
Okay, so can you call back later? Can you call later, please? You're calling into a live program, okay?
I should call back when?
Much later, please. Okay?
Later.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Okay.
All right. 07055071007 or 07025201007. Please, if you have a mail, a question or questions about the tax reform regime or tax reform bill, now is the time to call in to to ask that question so you can get answers. So we're talking about the filing for companies and employer and employees. So we already talked about the employee. They should actually file for payee. So for business owners, so to say, the big companies, or for the earners themselves.
For the companies, once you register for CAC, many businesses owner, they believe that once I register for CAC, I just continue business. Nothing. So one of the lack of knowledge that business owner they have is that after you registered, 6 months after your registration, the FIRS, that is the Federal Inland Revenue Service, now Nigeria Revenue Service, because it has been unified now. So they expect you that the first 6 months is free for you for penalty. After 6 months, there's going to be a penalty if there's no filings at all. So what is expected of you is after 6 months, you visit, or maybe your representative or anybody yourself, you can visit them, you tell them you want to do activation of VAT and thing for your business. So you will pay 0 money if it is immediately after 6 months you registered. Because some of my clients that I did, some of them, they have registered business like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and this whole taxing comes around, and some of them comes to me. So when I visit, I see that after 6 months, the first month after 6 months is 10,000 naira.
Okay.
So after the subsequent months will now be 5,000 naira. Now imagine. someone that have
That has
registered
not
business 5
wow.
years ago.
So you're
you can
owing
imagine-
government.
Exactly. But
But
there's
also
a
there is a
negotiation.
okay.
Yeah, there's a negotiation. That's why you need a representative
Okay.
to represent you. There's
So
a
we talked about this. You said the first month is 10,000 naira. Then subsequently, after 6 months, subsequently you pay for 5,000.
Yeah.
But if I don't still meet that 25 million bracket, Uncle, will I still pay the money?
If you don't mean, you will still pay the money.
Okay.
If you do not file, because even if you meet up with the bracket, there's something called VAT.
Oh,
I want to go back to there's a question you asked about the produce and won't they come back? The people we are trying to protect at the end of the day.
Yes.
Exactly. So this reform, another beautiful part of it is that once you register for VAT, because they will give you a certificate at the FIRS for VAT and your TIN activation. So after every 21st of every month, you are expected to declare yourself. These are my sales for this month. This is what I make, right? So if you don't meet up to that tax bracket whereby you pay tax, you pay zero money. Filing is very, very,
very important.
Exactly. And there's a controversy that started, is it 2 days ago or so, that a lot of rumors saying they are going to be charging 7.5% of VAT on
bank transfers. I saw that too.
Exactly. So I was saying those things is still lack of knowledge. It is not so. What they meant is, for instance, let's say I want to transfer 10,000 naira to you. So what they are saying is, let's say my PalmPay or any bank I'm using charge 15 naira on that 10,000 naira. So what the law says is they are going to charge 7.5%
of that 15 naira. Okay, but the ripple effects might still come and still bite us in the behind, because if they're charging 7.5, what says the bank would not increase? Now, banks are also under a lot of pressure to meet up with a certain amount of money so they can operate. So if they're saying that you're still removing that 7.5 or 15 naira, I need to make this money back.
No, so that is why bank is not like this normal business. Bank is a centralized this thing. They are governed by the CBA, so they can't just wake up one day and say, okay,
I want to do this.
Naira, I want to turn it to 100 naira. It's not bread. It's not bread seller. Exactly.
Okay, nice one. I like that you touched on that, because I was going to ask you eventually about the whole thing. But thank you so much for touching on that. So another question that I really want to ask is that if I want to send money to you, I said that is gifts.
Okay.
I'm gifting you 100,000.
I love Taya. A lot of things.
I'm gifting this person that I know I've never seen before in my life.
Oh my God.
I'm gifting him 300,000 naira.
You see?
Now let's talk about that.
All right. Thank you very much. You see, I see a lot. Because in fact, some people will deliberately send some narrations to me. In fact, is it last week I saw someone put in the narration money for amala 900,000. What? Which type of amala will you purchase for 900,000 naira?
Okay, dinner.
Fear God,
for the entire family.
So you see, this is another lack of knowledge, because putting narration will not reduce your tax liability. It can only remind you of your transactions, because putting narration, gifts and the likes, if you get to the tax man, that will not, if you like, put gifts, tell the tax man that you make 10 million naira in that particular period, and you said everything is gift. It's not possible. And this is one of the effects of that knowledge, because I render a service for you, and I said my money is 50,000 naira, and because you want to, I want you to help me so that I will not pay tax on that.
And I say it's gift.
And I said, I beg go in your narration put what's it called? Put gifts. Meanwhile, it is a service render. Don't you think I can come for you and say, oh, you have not paid me? You have not paid my money. Show me your evidence. And you are showing everybody.
And then you say
gifts. Is it not even more crazy? Because if that knowledge, if people can think deep, they won't go in that direction. But this is the main thing. Narration is very, very good, but Nigeria, we don't read. Even before tax come, there's this column on every transfer that we ask you to put narration.
Yes.
But many Nigerians don't use it.
Yes.
Once I pay you, have you seen the money? Yes, I've seen the money. You are fine. You get it?
Yes.
So even before this issue of tax come into the existence, there is a purpose for everything you mold, everything you do, you know, even this bag, there's a purpose for this button, there's a purpose for everything. So there's a column for narration on any transfers for any banks, but it is good to put narration. But most people, there is a controversy or discrepancy about income and earnings.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Because I have a lot of questions too from my client there. They said, does that mean if I have 10 million naira in my savings accounts, I will be taxed? If I send money, if I get a loan, I will be taxed, blah, blah. No. All money that enters into your bank account, it is called income. But they are not your earnings, 100%. Earnings is, okay, I did something for you, then you pay me. You earn your salary, you earn service charge, you earn wages, but somebody gifts you, you get that one, you can say it is an income. So you are only taxed on taxable income, which are your earnings. So not that I have 10 million in my account and say one tax man will now come and say, okay, your tax is 30%.
Well, but there's also this saying that no, the tax revenue, they can actually how would I say, have access to your bank account, and then, you know, they actually can arrest you if you've been lying about, you know, your earnings, so to say. So I want to touch on that one too briefly before we wrap up the conversation. Like, is it true that they can have access to your account and deduct even if you are not declaring?
Yeah, no man will deduct anything from your account. Even if you are a top business owner, like your tax bracket is high, the best thing they will do to you, they will write to you. They will write to you, and I think it is 21 days you need to, like, the maximum period you need to reply them. Exactly. Of course, they are government, they have access to CBN. In fact, they are the leaders of everything, but not in the world. You get it? In as far as this country is concerned, of course, they have access to everybody accounts through the CBN, through your bank, through your NIN, your BVN, you understand? But no one will debit your account for the sake of tax. The best thing they will do to you is to write you, and before they write you, you must have been a billionaire, like a millionaire. The tax man, they are not
the money has
for,
to be worth what the risk and what the stress.
You know, there is a question they ask Mr. Taiwo that, okay, someone that roasting corn, you know, people that are on the roadside, you know, they are panicking, like they are scared, they are angry. They are not looking for, in fact, I'm not sure they are looking for you.
No.
No.
25 million is a lot.
Oh, they are looking for you. They are looking for you. You are a big woman.
25 million is a lot.
Yeah. So no man, nobody will debit your account. That is a lie. No man will debit your account. The best thing they will do to you, because I have a client whereby she has been in business for quite a numbers of years, but no documentation. She is the CEO, she is the accountant, she is the secretary.
God is our strength. We small business owners, God is our strength.
Like this one, I can't even say, let me say medium. Like, they are making money, their turnover is high, and all of a sudden, in fact, this whole tax thing has not even come, like, the noise is not, they wrote to her. The EFCC wrote to her.
Wow.
Yes. And that was when, you know, we don't need to wait till when problem comes as a business owner before we start.
We have to be proactive.
She called me as EFCC, they send a letter to us. I've been telling you, how much will you give accountant in a month? And these people, they will help you to calculate everything right from the inception of your registration, right? And you need someone, you cannot win them except you have an expert, except you have someone that can represent you and say, okay, that can justify. And even that, you know, that person will have to do, let's say, maybe 5 years reporting. He has to do a statement for you. He has to do auditing for you. You know, it is a whole lot. So it is my advice, if you know that your business is moving from small to medium, please employ someone that can help you in the area of reporting, auditing, and
okay. Now let's talk about those that are involved in crypto and those that are earning online. I'm a remote worker working for a company outside the country. You know, what does this tax reform law means for me? Deal in crypto, you know what, work remote workers.
Remote workers, the
Yes.
freelancers.
Yes. So what
Alright.
does it mean for them?
Okay, I will start from the crypto earners. You know, unlike the old tax law, crypto, if you are, I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe you are familiar with it. They are every time is not celebration. They are
Yes.
days they have losses.
Yes.
But the old tax law, you bear your loss yourself. But they call something reform. That is one thing Nigeria, they find a way of balancing. So once they remove there's a calculation for it, which I cannot be doing the mathematics here, you understand? So once they cater to some extent for your loss, and they juxtapose it with your profit, so they progressively, even, okay, for instance, let's say your profit is 1 million naira and your loss is 200,000, you have 800, you know, the 800,000 will not even enter into a percentage. Bam, it is progressive. They will remove the first 800, the first 800,000, that is exempted. Then the remaining ones, they began to charge it progressively as a taxable, you know, from 0 to 15 to 18 to 23, and progressively like that. That is for crypto. So it is a very, very good one for the crypto traders, unlike the old law. So for people that is earning abroad and
working in Nigeria but earning from abroad,
and earning abroad, people like that, since they are not, the reform said, not me now, that since their income is not coming, okay, if their income is coming to Nigeria, right, if their income is coming to Nigeria, to some extent they spend in Nigeria, they do their things in Nigeria, they will be taxed based on the income that benefits the government here in Nigeria. But there is another scenario whereby some work abroad, but they bring money home, so let's say they send money home. For such, there is no tax.
No tax. So people working outside the country and sending money home.
No.
Okay, now let's talk about the social media influencers, the creatives, the musicians.
The influencers, of course. The reform also classify them into categories, just like the on-site business owner. If you are a freelancer and your income is, you just measure yourself.
Signing endorsement deals.
So you have to do something that is they call it self-declaration, self-assessment. You don't need the taxman to start following you.
Up and down.
You do a self-declaration, assess yourself personally before you even find anything from them on the line. So you declare yourself, like, truthfully. It is very fair to everybody.
Report, Ari.
Exactly. It is very fair. It's not, you see, it is human being like us that are there. Like, seriously, and they are not that hard. In fact, they are not hard. You know, there are people I work with, I visit their office almost every week. You understand? So they are very approachable. Even if you don't understand, like, even if you feel like one expert want to be charging you unnecessarily, because that's what many of experts, exactly, they will charge you for. In fact, they will even tell personal income tax, like individual, they will even tell you that you pay company income tax, you know, but because you don't have the knowledge, you just feel like that is right. You can walk into their office, you can ask questions, and they will answer. I'm serious. There are people like I went there. You can go there. You can ask questions that you don't understand as far as your business is concerned. So freelancer, the influencers are the life.
Let's see. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from, please. Lost that call. So if you have a question, we have about 3 more minutes to have this conversation. So if you have any questions bugging you, talking about the tax reform bill or tax reform laws, now is the time for you to call to ask that question. We have till 9:41 to do that. So please put a call through 07055 071 007, 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007 if you have a question for the expert in the house. Yes, now is the time for you to call me up or send messages. 07055 071 007, 07055 071 007. Mrs. Oladiti Omolola is still in the studios, and we're still talking about the tax reform bill, tax reform laws, and everything. So aside from, small business owners that you're not earning up to, what's it called now, up to 25 million naira, who are those that are exempted from the tax reform bill as well?
The average earners. Let's start from the people that are any minimum wage.
Let's hold our
like that
thought.
minimum-
Hello,
okay.
good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, this is Akimba Balubuko.
Okay, good to have you on the show this morning, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Do you have a question?
Yes, I just want to say hi to my sis,
Okay.
and I want to appreciate her very well for the verification. In fact, I want to believe she has saved so many souls from the different stories about tax that we are hearing. So I want to appreciate her very, very well. Thank you so much, my sis. God bless you.
Yeah, thank
Right
you
on.
very much.
All right.
This is Akimba Bola calling you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
It's all right. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day ahead, ma'am. Okay, 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. If you have, means or you need clarification regarding some certain things that we might not have touched on, now is the time to call or send messages. Okay, 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. All right, so before we wrap up, we were saying that people that are exempted.
Yeah. The people that are any minimum wage, they are totally exempted from tax. Like no zero. The business, the informal business owner, like they don't have time, they cannot be registering on CAC.
Those selling pepper and pomo in the market.
The mamas in the, let them be hearing us now. Mama Lata, Lewedu, they are not the people we are, or let me say the government are looking for. Like you are selling, you have a shop, you are exempted. You are not the people where they are looking for actually. You know, you are any 100,000 in a month and you are panicking. Students, they are exempted from that. There is a clause. Students that doesn't have
influencer students.
Exactly, you get it right. Not that you said, okay, Mrs. Omolola says students are accepted. No.
If you're an influencer and you're a student, you will pay tax.
Oh God, you go pay you go. So if you're a student and you have another personal income, something like you will pay tax once you get to that level. Exactly. So but students, they are exempted. The average Nigerians, majority of people that are panicking, majority they are exempted
actually.
So
they're not
that is what people don't know. But me, I'm reaffirming it this morning. It's just that the tax law is not easy for a layman understanding to read, and in fact it's even bulky. So I would say people should go online to their platform.
I heard the farmers are exempted as well.
You said
the farmers?
Yes, farmers only have 5 years window.
Okay.
Yes, you are into agriculture. The reform, that's another beautiful thing. Thank you. They have opportunity to do everything they are doing for a whole 5 years without remitting. And also when we talk of VAT, there are some food, on food items, health, what other things, like the basic necessity for Nigerians or for human, they are exempted for VAT for this new tax reform. I wanted to talk about when we are talking about the bakery of 18 years. So they will not, because if you are saying we want to protect the less privileged, but we are charging the
people that are producing,
at the end of the day,
it will still fall back.
So one of the ways they do is that so many basic amenities that men need or women need, like something like food, like clothing, health, education, all those ones, they are 5 exempted from VAT. So it's a 0 VAT. Even if any organization or any CEO, if you get a produce or you get a material for your business, if your receipt, if there is an inclusive of VAT, this reform said you can claim back the VAT for yourself. You might not necessarily collect the money, but you can use it to offset subsequent tax liability. So it is a beautiful reform.
Okay, so it's been an amazing time having this conversation with you. A big thank you to you, Mrs. Omolola Oladiti, for coming through and actually touchlighting the situation of this old VAT and everything. So if you're panicking, POS, traders and every POS operators, traders, you have to relax. Okay, but they say you should go and register for your POS. Still go and register. Okay, so that is it for People's Assembly for today. I'll be taking a breather right now, and do not forget that the last part of the last leg of the show is still very much on. You get to send messages. Let me know if you have someone that you are celebrating today. I'll be here to celebrate the person with you and for you. All you have to do is to send me their numbers as messages, the phone number, the names, your own name, and what you are celebrating them for, and I'll be here to put a call through to them on your behalf. Okay, it is back to the music, and this one is Benson doing Phenomena. Stick around, keep it locked, don't move a muscle.
Anytime we did pop, we are down scrub. You got it on show. I'm myself way on cover. Them know that we outside. Every day so love. She not fair. She not beauty. We so bad, we just beginning. Just remember me. Just remember me. Just do that for me, baby. I'm not trusting my phone. I'm fine, you know. She made me so more. If I go flow, she don't make that sound, she don't know. I saw it and go, she wants to move back on you. You know what you know. I'm not trusting my phone. I'm fine, you know. She made me so more. If I go flow, she don't make that sound, she don't know. I saw it and go, she wants to move back on you. It's the best moment of my life. The government to come like home. And then the guys laugh for this side home. Imagination go on me. Find me red on sunny red. Feel like I can't like the trumpet. Baby, if you can't let it perfect. Imagination go on me. She perfect. She not easy. Come get it. She'll be killing. She remember me. She remember me. Just do that for me, baby. I'm not trusting my phone. I'm fine, you know. She made me so more loco. If I go flow, she don't mean that self, she don't know. When I saw it, that go, she wants to move back on you. Ain't no coffee, no. I'm not trusting my phone. I'm fine, you know. She made me so more loco. If I go flow, she don't mean that self, she don't know. I saw it, that go, she wants to move back on you. Ain't no coffee, no.
Melody FM 100.7.
Nights like this, there's something mystical about nights like this. Any concept of time don't matter. Thoughts in my mind, fill my eyes with water. I try to talk to God, and I close my eyes, but I don't see anyone. I still pray for forgiveness every time I sin. So don't leave my faith in the hands of my enemies. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me down.
I know fit time my face. They call me a dogu cause I live up to my name. Bura, bura, kale. Tell me where you go call. When you feel like you don't get nobody at all. I still play the blame game with the man in the mirror. Don't you leave me on my own now. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't let me
Melody 100.7 FM.
Need your text.
She know I'm kiki with you. Baby, gon' feed me. This your backside, it doesn't look so minute. Ricky, big Chris, is it with me? Abala, I'm a honey lady, pin out for the wall. She's a bad bitch. Mini Riri, she's a fancy girl. I know they make her up. Silly doggy, yes up. I go give her rod, I go give her hard rock. Then to office house, so they run it down. Odu how? Now matala they pay for all the canna, you down.
Make a day with you, girl. Do you mind?
Are you calm?
You know they do me things I don't find all the time. Ay. See the money on the roll. Come on back home. You said you like these things, oh. When money me buy, yo. Give me your God, they feel fine. Girl, make you shake this money time. She said big with they things and I'm on night. So they use your feelings to they play, oh, they pop, baby feel fine. Yeah, I like you no features. Yeah, your body in my mind. And I got money for land, oh. Cause they popo. Yeah, I said this life, say now YOLO. Choco. I get things I'm gonna get for you, don't know. I be calling you, baby, come true. Yeah, come better my mood, yeah. Get the money for the pleasure. I'ma get you my family. Go, you saw me, so I don't wanna wait. I'ma saw me, so run it up. Every other night, I'ma run it up. Give me your body all the time. Show my love, show my family. Inside, now you're loving. I've been waiting for you daily, yo. Give me your girl, they feel fine. Girl, make you shake this money time. She said big with they things and I'm on night. So they use your feelings, so they play, oh, they pop, baby, feel fine. Yeah, I like you no features. Yeah, your body in my mind. And I got money for land, oh.
She don't want kiki with you. She don't want kiki with you. Baby, gon' feed me. This your backside, it doesn't look so minute. Ricky, big Chris, is it with me? Abala, in a body wall,
Alright, DJ Tunes, Biscuit and Odumodu Black, easy with me on that one. And it is 9:54 a.m. from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. A big thank you to every single person that tuned in and kept the show popping with me this morning. It has actually been Melody Sunrise and Melody 100.7 FM. My name is Bolabad, and it is a wrap for Melody Sunrise for the entire week, okay? And to next week, Monday, when the show returns to the airwaves, do have an amazing day ahead of you, an amazing weekend. Like I always do say, the conversation does not end here. You can follow us across all social media platforms at Melody 100.7 FM. That is Melody 100.7 FM across all social media platforms. For me, though, it is at Bolabad across all social media platforms. Till next week, have a great day. Roy Lu comes up by 10 a.m. Stick around. And this one is Ayo coming through with Shensia. Stick around.
Body like Sensia. She come from Jamaica. I like it up on Tia. She said what's the formula? But her back we got the feeling. Mama Sensia. She come from Jamaica. I like it up on Tia. She said what's the formula? But they can't see me, don't see she know that she bad like a diva. Cinderella, mamacita. She give it to me when I want her. No need visa, Coca-Cola. She know that she bad like a diva. Cinderella, mamacita. Mama Sensia. She come from Jamaica.
Ọjà rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀ Melody FM Ìbàdàn.